Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Raqs Savoir-Faire, the podcast for belly dancers and performers by your host, me, Oriana, international performer, instructor, and author. So today I'm going to be talking about being bold. Being bold when you promote yourself and the desire to push yourself and to get your name out there. And I'm not just talking about imposter syndrome. I'm talking about the ingrained idea that is so prevalent that if someone does not specifically give you an invitation to participate and you initiated contact, you filled out a form, you sent them an email, whatever, that somehow that opportunity is inferior or you did not earn it in the same way as if somebody had contacted you first. We often think that you haven't quote unquote made it until you are getting a message, you are getting an invitation to come teach, perform, participate, what have you. If you are not already famous, and you are waiting for that written invitation, you're going to be waiting a really long time. You're going to be waiting forever. And let me just let you know, if you think that also quote unquote famous performers are not having agents or assistants or themselves reaching out to event coordinators, festival coordinators, and promoters, they are. So someone might be really, really well known, but they are still doing that legwork to make sure that they do have a full schedule, that they are getting bookings. They have to make money too. They have bills to pay. They have groceries to buy. And a lot of times we tend to forget that event coordinators are people too. Yes, you get some surly ones. You get some slimy ones. Absolutely, it's going to happen. But even if you are well known, it's possible if you're not getting a lot of bookings that people are afraid to approach you because they're intimidated by you. That's kind of another topic, but it leads me to the main point of this podcast, which is that you do need to do your own promotion and you do need to send those messages and keep yourself introduced to people within your community or within your genre, even within your local or regional area. It doesn't mean that you have to go bumbling around flooding people's DMs or spamming emails and trying to force your way into things. I'm actually not talking about that. I'm talking about making sure that you initiate that contact, making sure that people do know who you are. So what's the easiest way to do that outside of just sending random messages, which you don't want to do? That's the equivalent of cold calling. Have your website ready. Have your resume ready. Have your social media presence, continuously being worked on. Make yourself a presence in your local online or physical community so that when you do send those messages, you're coming with an overwhelming presence to prove that you are who you say you are and you have value and you've been doing what you say you've been doing. Let's say you're a belly dancer like myself. 90% of my success, people are always asking me, Oriana, what's your secret? 90% of it is I sent somebody an email. Okay. I remember really, really clearly sitting talking with Isa-san of Montreal when I was in Canada, and she asked me, how did you get involved with an Egyptian festival? How did you get to teach in Egypt? Like, how did that work? How did they find you? Because I'm not famous. I think you're more well known than me, but how did that work? And the look on her face when I said, Isa-san, I sent them an email. Her jaw hit the floor. They didn't know who I was. A lot of people do. A lot of people know who Isa-san is, and they should. Does that mean that my opportunity wasn't as good as if they had reached out to me? Does that mean that she's not worthy of teaching in Egypt? Both of those are false statements. Absolute. Not everybody on the planet will know who you are. And again, like I said earlier, even if they do, you still need to do some legwork because they might not reach out to you for whatever reason. So if you're a belly dancer like me, having your website together, having your social media, have some videos ready, have some videos made if you need to, have a friend help you with that. So that when you send that message, when I sent that email to that festival or any other place I'm looking to teach or perform, here's my resume, here's my website. I've been doing this for 15 years and I can prove it. I specialize in Egyptian and I can prove it. Does this sound familiar? Because it should sound like when you apply for any other job. When you apply for any other position, you turn in your resume, your CV. You turn in your references. And speaking of references, don't be afraid to ask around, ask resources. There's so many Facebook forums, and that's one way. But look at the people that you know. Could they possibly know someone? Do they possibly have some answers? Can you approach your teachers? Hey, I'm looking to gig. I want to be a professional. Where should I start? I would really like to start teaching in festivals. What do you think? How should I prepare myself? I actually did that years ago. I went on a Facebook forum and very sheepishly, because I'm not a huge fan of online forums, to be honest, asked, I would really love to start teaching. I just don't know where to start and what promoters might be looking for. Does anyone have any advice? And you know what? I actually got really good advice. I actually got really, really good answers. Look at where this is, what they're looking for, their demographic, attend events if you can. It's always a good idea. If you want to be part of that show, go see that show. If you want to be in that festival, go to that festival. That might seem obvious because people say it a lot, but it is worth repeating. Nobody's going to really put you at the head of the list if they've never seen you there before, because then you just look like you want a handout and you're not that interested in the event. However, I am sympathetic to the current times where you might not have $1 million and all the time in the world to attend as many things as you would like to, or it's just not possible. Something that gets overlooked a lot is that these events, these festivals, these shows, they need help. They need volunteers. And if you think you're broke, the person doing the event might also be stretching $1 in order to do this. Running events is expensive. So if you can approach them and say, I volunteer to run your sound, to be a stage hand. How can I help you? Can I do your social media work? Can I do anything for you? Can I help you promote? Can I hand out flyers? Can I be an assistant to one of the teachers at your event? Anything. Even if they haven't advertised that they are looking for volunteers, ask them if they'd like some help. And you know what? You just made yourself invaluable to someone. They know who you are. They're getting to see you work, and you get to attend. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Do not be afraid to fill out those forms. Go to your teachers. Ask for more resources. Treat your artistic career like you would any other job application. If you want to move up, if you want to push forward and increase your position, it is worth it to invest in yourself by taking that chance on you and filling out those forms, sending those emails, and asking those questions, shaking hands, introducing yourself to the people that you want to be in contact with and aligned with. I hope this helps.